3, 2, 1, go.
Hurricane Deb.
Okay.
Go.
Eating now. Okay.
Hurricane Deb.
Eating now.
I'm getting some real echo here, but let's go. I'm getting some real echo here, but let's go.
I just muted D0gPoundGaming there. I'm gonna have to deafen him as well. Sounds like. Yeah.
Okay, now everything should be fine.
Yeah.
I hope I'm live. I hope my volume is okay. So basically, this is X3 any percent. My personal favorite X game. It's characterized by the fact that it's actually way harder, just casually, than X1 and X2. The people who made the game really went into this game with the intention of making it way harder on purpose. So enemies deal a lot more damage, they take more hits to kill, and in general, it's just way tougher to get through. X1 and X2. But our hero D0gPound here started with this game, so he's actually gotten very good at it. He doesn't mind the increased difficulty. So yeah, this was the first X game where we got to play as Zero. A whole lot in this speedrun, but it's still an option that's there. Do it a lot in the speedrun is just that because it takes a long time to be able to switch to Zero. Here's a guy that we in this speedrun community call Mr. Fister. Because he usually likes to fist you a lot. Like we see here. Easy. Text and cutscenes and downtime. So as we saw there, after the intro, right after the intro, a lot of text, and even during the intro, cutscenes and text. Also, the levels are way longer here than they are in X1 and X2. Okay, D0gPound doing some slope jump jazz here. For anybody familiar with X1 and X2, may be familiar with the mechanic of slope jumping. You can do it here as well, but instead of doing it on a slope, you actually do it on flat ground. And the reason we're starting with Blizzard Buffalo is because he's by far the easiest and fastest buster fight in the game. This is also where we get the boots. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, easy back up, we're fine. Everything's fine. So contrary to what you may believe, the boots actually don't help with the speed all that much in this game. You basically get the ability to dash midair, both vertically and horizontally. But usually in this game, the boots only get in the way in a speedrun. But they are very important in a big skip coming up late in the game. Okay, so Blizzard Buffalo basically looks menacing, he's big and looks strong and scary. But luckily for our hero, he's as dumb as a sack of potatoes. So basically what D0gPound is doing here is he's taking advantage of an exploit where every time Buffalo turns around to look at you, if he sees that you're jumping, like if he sees you're in the air, he continues to turn back around and just bang his head to the wall.
So it's just the TV down there has a weird audio issue again.
Do you mind if I jump in here? Do you mind if I jump in?
Ah.
Okay, we have a $20 donation from Sloters27 with no comment. That's probably the $20 he said if he would get baby skip.
Coming up with is the first one of the big climbs of this game. The first seahorse climb. See how D0gPound handles it. Pretty good. But there's a lot of this in this game. A lot of vertical climbing, which is really hard to master. Vertical movement in the Mega Man X games is definitely the hardest movement to master. Optimize. Oh, yeah, and also we have a mini boss. There are also a lot of these in X3. And unfortunately for us speedrunners, they made the explosions in X3 last way longer than they did in X1. They were actually also long in X2. But like I said before, X3 especially is a game that's really known for the amount of waiting you get to do in the run. Really good second climb. Oh, and the gap jump. That was a really pro-level second half of a Seahorse stage by D0gPound. What happens here is that for whatever reason, Seahorse and a few other bosses in this game, when hit with their weakness, they actually have a period of time when they have no iframes. Like they have their iframes on, the visual iframes, but you can just hit them for a period of time with any weapon and they'll just take damage at 60 frames per second. Obviously something us speedrunners like very much. Here's some more text and cutscenes. Can really be a buzzkill when grinding this game and grinding the early game for several hours straight. Having to sit through all that text every time. This is Rhino stage, which in my opinion is actually the hardest stage. Both in this game, and it's actually one of the hardest stages in all of Mega Man X speedrunning. Everything kills you, it's really hard to get by without taking a hit. No, just in general, the movement is really hard. Oh yeah, D0gPound getting that sick one blast strat. Okay, so here's Bit. Bit and Bite are the two mini bosses who start roaming the stages after you've defeated 2 Mavericks. And basically the way they work is after defeating 2 Mavericks, Bit will appear in one of the 3 following stages, and then Bite will appear in one of the 3 after that. It's totally random. It doesn't really matter in this category where they show up. But Rhino stage is a stage where you don't want Bit, just in case you have to endure some extra bonks from him. So another mini boss, which is the mash fest of this game. It's not as bad as the X1 intro stage, luckily, but it can still be pretty annoying having to endure that every single time. But D0gPound manages to survive just well. Nice. Oh, nice, nice, nice moving. Rhino, in my opinion, is one of the more annoying bosses in the game, for sure. Because his hitbox is actually deceptively large. Like, his hitbox extends way beyond the sprite that you see on the screen. So it's actually really easy to take an accidental hit, and he deals 1,000,000 damage, and you may die here easily. D0gPound having no issues at all, taking care of Rhino. Definitely a very scary part of this game in a marathon run. Also a pretty unique... Oh, oops. Okay, we're fine. A pretty unique part of this game is also that the bosses, the Mavericks of the game, actually have a lot of varying strats. Like, we don't really use the weakness weapons that much in this game, as you might expect. And that quick kill that D0gPound got is actually way harder than it looks. Precise to get that one cycle. Basically mashing ice into him. Yeah, as I was saying, we don't have Tiger's weakness. But Tiger, just like Seahorse, is also a boss whose iframes are slightly busted. There's not really a quick kill for him, but we fight him with the Buster because when you use Tiger's weakness on him, he's weak to the spinning blades. He actually has really long iframes, which is what we don't want. So we fight him with the Buster. For the safety heart, not a bad idea. Fight him with the Buster because Tiger also has a slight glitch in his iframes, where if you mash him with the right timing, you can actually get a few lemons sort of past his iframes. And it's still faster to lemon him as opposed to using the spinning blade. Tiger is one of the 2 major RNG bosses in the game. In general, this game is known for having very little RNG. It's Tiger and another boss that you have to worry about and reset on. And other than those two bosses, there's almost no luck in this category, which is real nice for speedrunning. Okay. Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. Tiger is definitely not an easy boss. Okay, easy. First try. Okay, moving on. We're going to the second RNG boss of the game. Fish. Tougher stages for sure. In this game, the stages are pretty empty compared to some of the other games in the series. You have a lot of just empty spaces with no enemies. But this stage is very different. This stage can be pretty devious with the enemy placement. Really have to watch your step here. Because like I said before, the enemies deal a lot of damage. So you really don't want to be bonking here. And as we already fought Bit in Rhino, he's not gonna appear here. Okay, easy stage for D0gPound. There's another boss that we don't like to use the weakness weapon on. He's weak to the drills that you get from Rhino, but just like Tiger, Catfish has extremely long iframes when he's hit with the drill. So what we want is to fight him with the Buster for as long as possible, and to avoid this. At some point in the battle, he's gonna go into his desperation attack, which is what we're seeing here, and he's only vulnerable to the drills. So basically, what we want is the good RNG, where he goes into the desperation attack as late as possible, so that we can get the quick buster shots on him and avoid using the drills. Here's some more unfortunate waiting around in this game. I love the game, but do have to wait quite a while. Bite may appear here, and he does, okay. If this fight gets out of control... bad. Weak to the drills, as we can see. Okay, easy. Oh, and I forgot to mention before, you can actually kill Bit and Bite in 2 different ways. You can use the Buster, or you can use their weakness. And the reason we kill them with the Buster is because when you deal the final blow with the Buster, they only run away instead of exploding. And the exploding animation takes so long that we don't want them to be exploding. I think that's easily maybe 15 seconds of time loss right there. Right now we are entering the, or we're already in the vial factory. This is an optional area of the game. You don't have to do this in order to beat the game. But we want to kill Vial. And Vial is the same way as Bit and Bite. You can deal the final blow with either the Buster or his weakness weapon, which happens to be the Ray Splasher that Darkpoint's using here. To kill Vial is because killing Vial allows us to obtain a Zero Saber later in the game, which is what's needed to kill bosses fast in the late game. If you don't fight Vial or if you don't kill Vial, the second Doppler stage is going to be different. A stage that happens after killing Vial that allows for obtaining the Saber. Which is pretty much the only other item other than the boots that's collected in the optimal 80% route. I actually really like this section because we have a an in-game timer, and it's always really fun and really useful to know how much time you're taking in a section, a speedrun, when you're practicing and whatnot. Like, you get immediate feedback just because there's a timer on screen. And 27 is a really good escape time. If you're really going for a good escape, you want a 29, but a 27 is very good. Now we are approaching the second quick kill boss of this game. Crawfish here is glitched very much the same way as Seahorse. So the strat here is we want to hit him with his weakness, the Triad Thunder, and frames are broken. You want to mash oh. Want to mash lemons at him. Okay, nice. Easy, first try. You want to mash lemons at him when he's basically without iframes. To the glitch that I'm not sure if anyone can really explain. Maybe they can. Selecting stages is really hard in Mega Man X games. The weapons used here are here is the weapon that you obtain from Crushed Crawfish, and the Spinning Blade is probably the most OP weapon in the game. It can be really pretty hard to use since you can only have one of them on screen. So if you have a lot of Spinning Blades still flying on the screen, that you can't fire another one. But it can pretty much one or two shots almost every enemy in the game. It's a really useful weapon. This is another one of those infamous vertical sections of the game. And it's soon gonna be followed by another infamous vertical section of the game. Yeah, that actually happens to me all the time. Beetle here is actually my favorite boss in the game. Because in this category, he has absolutely... There's zero RNG, zero execution. All you do is you basically hit him with this weakness, the Ray Splasher. And every time you hit him with the Ray Splasher, you knock him out of whatever attack he was going for. And you just reset his AI. And you basically just keep shooting until he's dead. And that's it. I wish all bosses in these games were like Beetle, but they're not. Okay, so the last Maverick, last Hornet. This first section can be pretty tough. Found managing just okay. We are approaching the mini-boss, which is basically just Capcom's way of saying, yeah, we still have that fancy C-Export chip. Thanks for asking. Mini-boss can be a pain. I'm actually really bad at the mini-boss, but D0gPound doing a much better job than me, ever. I had a connection problem. Now it should be fine. Well, I missed a bit of the run there, but... To be fair, this stage doesn't really have a whole lot to it in any percent. It's pretty straightforward. Shooting some boxes and that's it basically.
Alrighty, well I'm going to jump in then, since there's a little bit of downtime, and talk about some of the incentives we have.
Yeah,
so,
do that.
There's been some added incentives since last run. So we have, one of the incentives we still have is DuckTales Remastered Mind Skip Near Impossible Trick. That's been added. That's the impossible trick that they were talking about earlier. And some of the new incentives we have, the first one being Metadog does a Hurricane Dab on stream, and that incentive is going to be for $100. So if you guys want to see Meta Hurricane Dab on stream, that'll be $100 for the incentive. We also have 2 additional runs, both of them Castlevania. One of them is Area of the Sorrow Sama Any % Old Route, and that's going on for $150. So if you want to see this additional run ran by Kenta, The incentive is currently $20 out of 150. Kenta is also going to be running Castlevania Harmony of the Dissonance, Maxim, any percent. But the incentive is $50 as well. So if you want to see any of these incentives met, you can donate to our charity link, which you can either get by !donate, !charity, or by going into our comments and clicking the thing.
I'm gonna hop back in. We're in the first Doppler stage. Which can definitely be tricky. Some instant death spikes. There's a pretty tough mini boss. Which can easily kill you. There is a quick kill, which I'm sure D0gPound is trying to go for here. It does require you to bonk him and take damage. And you don't really have a lot of health to work with. Okay, yeah, he's getting it easy. Now D0gPound can't really be bonking anything in this stage. He's gonna take a save with Triad Thunder. And also making good use of those spinning blades, as I talked about. This boss can really be dangerous in any percent. You're already at low health, and he deals a crap ton of damage. And if you make a slight mistake, he can really end your run immediately. He has 2 attacks. He can either attack you with those fists, or he can swing his saber, which we did not see here. The trick with the fists is that only the front part of the fists have a hitbox, meaning that you can actually get behind them and they won't deal any damage to you. It can really be tricky to dodge them. A lot of my runs have been killed by that fisting. Okay, here's the most difficult part of this run, in my opinion. This beginning section is hell. No issues at all. Oh, heck yeah. I really struggle with that part. I found managing it like a pro. Really die there. Just, and dying to stage enemies isn't too common in Mega Man X games, but that is a section where it's really possible. And here we have the one time that we're using Zero outside of the intro. We're fighting this mini-boss with Zero because it is a requirement for getting his saber. If you don't fight Vile earlier, as I said, this mini-boss actually isn't here. So we can't even do this sequence at all. But since we killed Vile, the mini-boss is here. And Zero was sent to repairs, and he basically gave X his saber. D0gPound can now reach, now reach after he is a yellow charge. So he can charge to yellow, dump the shot, and then he has access to saber. And the saber allows him to do these. Oh no. It's a tough climb. It's a tough climb. The saber climb is definitely the trick in this game and in this category. Yeah, I was gonna say that the saber in addition to being a powerful weapon, also allows D0gPound to do saber jumps. This thing is safe here. Basically, if you're in the air and then you air dash, and then you jump and swing the saber at the same time, the game gives you an extra jump that you're actually on the air. Oh no! Okay, nice backup. Nice backup. Easy. In there. Oh, he has to really be careful with this boss here, though I don't think there should be a problem. Being safe. So basically the saber is the Hadouken or Shoryuken of X3. Meaning that it's the OP weapon that can two-shot bosses. Like, it can two-shot any boss in the game. So basically now we're heading into the refights, which is just a lot of saber swinging. So if there are donations or incentives, this is a pretty good time to jump on them.
Artie, well, I'm gonna take this chance and talk about To Write Love on Her Arms. I know I went over this just at the beginning of this run, but I'm gonna go through it again. So, To Write Love on Her Arms is a non-profit movement dedicated to preventing hope and finding help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. To Write Love on Her Arms exists to encourage, inform, inspire, and also invest directly into treatment and recovery. If you're interested more in this charity, you can visit them at their website at twloha.com. I repeat, twloha.com if you want to check out the charity. On the side note, we just got a $1.65 donation from Sarah saying 1,000 guys, bad, and then a bunch of steps. Because censorship. So we have reached $1,000 for the charity.
Oh, heck yeah. That's very nice. Yeah, I will. A lot of these refights are pretty self-explanatory. Basically, like I said, the bosses take 2 hits from the saber to die. So obviously what D0gPound is trying to do here is he's trying to swing the guys with the saber as fast as possible. It's not a whole lot to comment it. There are 2 bosses, and I'll get to them when I get to them, that are a little different. But mostly, just want those 2 saber shots on them. And also you want the to dump the buster shot in a way that it goes off screen as fast as possible, because X can't swing the saber once the blue shot is still on screen. So that's the one requirement. Seahorse, and we are abusing the glitch again, but in a slightly different way. So basically, what happened there is D0gPound hit Seahorse with the weakness, again, to glitch his iframes in a way that the saber actually sort of technically hits him twice. So instead of 2 swipes, it only takes 1 swing. Completely deplete his health. D0gPound taking it a little risky there, but it paid off. use this thing in the middle to farm for health, but it's basically a rule in this game that whenever you need health from that thing in the middle, you never get it. It's like with the seahorse, we also abuse the crawfish glitch again. And the same thing, it only takes one saber swing because of that iframe glitch. It's never health when you need it. This game hates you. No, Tiger is being a jerk. Meanie. Oh. 1 HP. Is he gonna clutch it? Connection died again. Yeah, I'm back. Oh no! Tiger one-upping D0gPound again. Not easy. It's not. Tiger can really do that. Experienced player. Yeah, unfortunately, D0gPound now has to go through all the refights again. I guess I could mention something that I didn't mention before. You may have noticed that Hornet here, in the first fight with Hornet, D0gPound actually used the spinning blades, which are not his weakness per se. But again, just like with some of the other bosses, his actual weakness, which is the beetle weapon, causes such long iframes that it's really slow to fight him with that. So spinning blades deal 2 damage with short iframes. So it is actually faster to use that non-weakness weapon on him. This game is just generally really weird with iframes. Easy beetle kill. The strat with beetle is you want to start the charge, the saber, with the ray splasher to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Cancel out whatever he was gonna do. So it gives you time to charge. Fact that his weapon kind of cancels out any attack he's gonna do is really nice for the refights. It's kind of a luxury. Really eliminate all RNG. Two for two on the seahorse quick kill. That's actually not easy. It looks way easier than it is, but it's really it's a pretty tight timing that you're dealing with if you want to go for that quick saber kill on seahorse. Crowfish quick kill is actually way easier to do. Okay. I thought for a second that maybe I spoke too soon, but we're fine. And still no health. This game's really trolling him right now. Okay. It's time to get ultimate payback on Tiger. Autumn, easy, first try. Heck yeah. Oh man. There is a health capsule coming up actually. And for this final boss here, I'm the final boss of the stage, not the final boss of the game. D0gPound is going to want to have some health here to work with. And I would still want more health than that, but he can make this work. He can make this work. Doppler can easily sneak up on you though. Oh, the gimmick here. Oh, okay, got it. Nice, easy. So the gimmick with Doppler is that you want to dump a shot to lure him into using his shield. Is a really annoying shield because it actually regenerates his health. So you want to lure him into doing that so you can prepare a saber shot. He kind of does use the shield, like uninvited in the fight, kinda. It can really be annoying because you're basically refilling his health with your attack. And here is Sigma, or the first form of Sigma. We call him Captain America, Sigma. Just like all the other bosses, it's two swings of the saber. It can be hard to connect with this hitbox. Nice! D0gPound keeping it together. Really clutch. Good job. Final Sigma here is really dangerous in 80%. He can basically just squash you. Just by giving you bad luck, even. Uh-oh. One shot. Oh no. So close. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. Sigma has a gigantic hitbox. And it can be really hard to figure out your spacing in the fight. Because his hitbox, kind of like Rhino's hitbox that I talked about earlier, it really extends beyond his sprite. So, like, there's a part of his hitbox that you can't see that can still kill you. So it can actually be really annoying.
You son of a bitch! You idiot!
What was that?
think that was D0gPound's soundboard.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay, so he's entering the fight again with 2 HP, which is kind of clutch. We are, of course, hoping for the best. Oh boy. Yeah, that was pretty much bound to happen with 2 HP. There is a quick kill strat for Sigma, the final Sigma, but it really requires you to not take a bonk from Captain America. And if you do bonk Captain America, then things really get ugly pretty fast. Or have the potential of getting ugly really fast. Okay, fingers crossed.
You are disgusting.
Was D0gPound's soundboard again, I think. Okay, got him. First try, easy. The game actually isn't over yet, but the hard stuff definitely is. There's a small section of gameplay left here. It really shouldn't be a problem. At this point. Lag climb. Basically, the strat here is simply to stay above Sigma's head and you're safe. Can fall into the lava and die, but that should never really happen. And time, GG. It was a really nice run.
He got
There
a
were the
52-38.
Yeah, the deaths happened and were unfortunate, but other than that, it was actually a really nice run. Really good movement, really good basic gameplay. I enjoyed watching that run. With that, I'm gonna hop on out of here. Thanks for having me.
No. And thank you for commentating his run.
Ah, no problem, no problem. Have a nice time with the rest of the marathon.
Yeah, and you
Have
have
fun.
a good one. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna move on to the transmission there. We're gonna be having a 15-minute break.